Buongiorno, my loves. I have a special surprise for you. Here is where I am. This beautiful, glorious morning here at Roma. I am hanging at the Colosseum. Hey, Sheila. And it is gorgeous. It's a gorgeous day here today. So, fear. We're going to talk about fear today. It is one of those topics that when I'm doing leadership development, people tend to kind of shy away from, kind of like, do this sort of thing with it. And coming to the Colosseum today is a great place to come and explore this, because here at the Colosseum there's a lot of fear that lived here for a very, very long time. There's a lot of other emotions too, and that's definitely one of them. So what is that fear feeling? For me, hey Sharon, for me, that fear feeling on the inside of me is kind of like what I just showed. It's this feeling of like, oh, I don't want to go there. I get a little shaky. I kind of try to cover myself up a little bit. Sometimes I feel like I'm in the grip of fear, like something is sort of holding on to me and holding me in like this. When I'm at the top of roller coasters and I'm looking at that hill that we're about to go down, I get so much of that fear feeling inside of me that I literally can't scream. I become voiceless because I am so in that sort of feeling of fear. It's a very visceral feeling. So, fear is one of our kind of most intense feelings, and especially one of our easiest ones, kind of one of our earliest ones that we develop inside of ourselves, that we start feeling inside of ourselves. So it's a very intense, even physical feeling inside of ourselves. And for that reason, it can be an easy one for us to turn to when we're making decisions. So we know from leadership development, from also just living in this world, that in general, making fear-based decisions is not the best thing when we are farther along on the path of leadership. We know that it makes decisions that tend to not serve the system very well. When we're little, it's actually quite helpful to start making some of our decisions based upon fear. This is a controversial topic. Why do we want to do that when kids are little? Well, because kids tend to go walk up to open flames and jump into them. They tend to not have that fear feeling developed inside of them. We even tell people, we're like, this child is fearless. They know no fear. So as parents, it's our job to help them create that fear feeling inside of them so that they can understand when there are those decisions that are going to really, really turn out quite poorly, like running into the middle of the street. Those sort of danger decisions. These are the first decisions that we really kind of instill in our kids. So when they're little, they make these decisions. We help them to make helpful decisions based out of fear. We give them this fear feeling so that they can start having some kind of an understanding of what is acceptable in society, what is going to keep them safe in the system that we're in. As we progress in our leadership, as we grow, as our children grow, it's important then to transition them into this space of making decisions out of love. Okay? However, we can't just jump there. And not only that, because fear is a feeling that's developed so early on in us, we need to understand our fear feelings. We need to recognize them inside of ourselves so that we can feel when we're making decisions based out of love and when we're making decisions based out of fear. So I am a very emotional person. I am somebody who feels emotions very, very deeply. And for a long time, I couldn't put words on my emotions. I couldn't really identify each one of them. I couldn't pick them out, or I hadn't had the training on how to pick them out. So what happened? My strong, intense feelings tended to hijack what I wanted to do and take over. So when I would say to people, I'm not making any decisions out of fear, oh, I don't even know what you're talking about. I don't have any fear around this. I was not actually feeling into the feelings of what was going on inside of me. I was almost afraid of going to fear itself. And so being here at the Coliseum today is a really, really great place to start feeling into that fear feeling for yourself, because a very helpful position for us to be in, a very helpful crew member inside of our head, is this crew member of the observer. It's when we can sit in the stadium of the Coliseum, watch what's going on, feel that fear feeling inside of us, and then begin articulating it. What is that feeling inside of us? How does it literally physically feel inside of our bodies? It's different for each person. It's helpful to have this observer status as we're looking into this fear stuff, because it doesn't seem to overcome us. It doesn't take us over. It just helps us to identify what's actually going on inside of us. There's some really, really cool, interesting, amazing things that are going on around violence and fear, especially in some of the nonprofit sector in the United States. And that is this idea of violence being infectious, violence being almost like a disease. And it's the same thing about fear. When we start making decisions based out of fear, we can actually start infecting sort of the people around us with that fear emotion as well. And so this is why we definitely want to go there on the inside of ourselves and understand what's happening physically on the inside of ourselves with this emotion, so that when we see it, it doesn't get us in its control. When we see it and we hold on to it, we can actually say, look, there's fear. We can pop into that observer, and then we can have the choice on the decision that we want to make, how we want to make that decision. Are we going to step out in faith? Or are we going to sit in the fear? No judgment on either one. It's simply just this point of saying, what is that fear feeling inside of me? So today, fun exercise is to really take that time to go sit down with fear on your couch. Go hang out, be that observer, have them sit right next to you. Say, what is that feeling? How does it feel inside of me? It's even more fun if you have a friend that will help create fear for you. It's kind of like when you have the hiccups and a friend comes and scares you to make the hiccups go away. Have something like that. Have a friend that you can chat with and talk with about this, because those words that we use help to slow down that emotion so that we can pick it apart and really, really get to know it really well. So go find that fear. Go hang out with a friend that's going to chat with you about that and help you out with identifying what that emotion is inside of you, because then you will be able to make decisions that are not based out of fear. All right, have a beautiful, lovely day. Plan on visiting this beautiful Coliseum when you come to this beautiful, beautiful city, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye-bye.